Look at this lake. What a beautiful lake. There's a sign back there that has arrows, 3 green arrows pointing to the 2 crossroads, and they say different lakes. This lake, and that lake. And I thought that would be a really neat picture. And beside the picture, you could put decisions. Isn't that cool? I have a friend of mine that makes cards, and she's so good. She comes up with cute things to, like, just a few words that go with that picture that she has selected, whether she gets them out of magazines or whatever. Look at this flower. This is complete. Isn't that gorgeous? I was thinking about different kinds of art activities. I've always loved the idea of using a wheel and doing pottery in my hands, and I know nothing about it really, although I have done some things which have turned out nicely, so I'm not totally without hope. But, I've gotten into making soap lately, and now I'm going to make soap dishes to go with my soap. And it's a beautiful day, and so when I look at a day like this, if you sit in the woods and you take a picture, or one year I took pictures of rocks, all kinds of pictures of rocks, and then I painted them. I was practicing painting rocks because I don't feel very confident about my rock painting ability, and they don't really turn out looking like rocks all that much. But I went from painting. I used to paint with oil, and I would stand for a long time with a either in the woods or with a photo. Photos were a lot easier because you could do it any time of day or night in any weather, and they turned out pretty good. And then I stopped, and then I started to write, and so I would write these very descriptive stories or articles. I became this is probably pretty loud for you. How's that? You didn't think it was going to be a nice time. What was I saying? This wasn't about making rocks, but I used to paint. And then I started writing and then I felt that, with writing, you can make a moving picture. And I like that because the picture is moving when you write it. You can feel the wind blow, you can see it. I would do all the senses, and I would incorporate them in whatever I was writing about, so you felt it, so you were there. But then I'm driving, if you didn't notice. That's why I'm not looking at the camera too much. But just now I was looking at these trees, and I thought about the perils of taking photos. You take a photo, and it's lovely, you focus it, and it's so pretty. But as soon as you've snapped it, you can't see it. It's gone until you print it, and then you have to put it somewhere to see it, right? But with painting, if you go into a place and you sit there and you paint it, you're surrounded by yellow leaves on the ground and in the trees. Maybe some deep reds like those sumacs. And when you gotta watch this truck. So I was thinking that the difference now in taking photos and painting it is that when you are painting it, you're looking at your canvas for a long time, and you're doing detail, and you're standing back, and you're appreciating it, and you're deciding that what it needs over here, and decisions about the colors and what they feel, what you feel when you're doing it, what they look like. Whereas when you take a photo, it's just you've been moved by that scene, and so then you frame it. You decide, okay, well, now this should be a tall part here and a small part here, and draw your eye into here, and the focus should be down in this quadrant or over here. third, I guess, not fourth. But you click it and it's gone. And you don't see it until you've printed it. And once you've printed it, there's no changes you can make. You're done. It's the way it is. It's whatever it was. And so I think that painting, I'd like to paint again, maybe. Not a lot. I've got so many things going on. I've got, how many minutes have I been yapping? Oh, it's only 5.5. I think I'm so long-winded. I've got so many things going on, right? I'm making soap. I'm making pottery. Slab stuff on my freezer. And I'm felting my soaps. And I'm carding fleece. And I'm doing Nancy Today's, all these little movies. And I take photos. And I really don't have room in my life for another major thing like painting. Although I don't know enough about watercolor. I bought a watercolor set this summer. Mary Jane. You remember Mary Jane? She made the banana bread? Well, she and I were at the store. And anyway, so I was going to do watercolor. There's people here. Oh, look at that. Oh, wow. Anyway. On our way. I get so distracted with having to drive, you know. It just imposes on my talking time. Anyway, so I don't know if I really want to get the oil paints out. But you know what I did? I went to the store a few years ago and I bought a gallon of blue, a gallon of yellow, and a gallon of red. And these were house paint. So it wasn't really the best choice because when you tried to mix colors, your yellow could never be a pure yellow because it was tinted into a white base. And so you could never get true colors. Everything would always have a white washed out bit to it. But I have had those 3 gallons of paint, and then I also got a gallon of white and a gallon of black later on. And oh, here comes another lake you might like. Oh wait, that's not a lake. Forget it. You might like those rocks. Okay, so I interrupt myself and then I have no clue what I'm saying. So then I painted using outdoor acrylic house paint. That was a really good choice for me. And so now I've been painting my teepee, all the windows in between the trim around all those old windows. And that's yellow. I'm using my Gagliardi